Life Alyx is an amazing game, which I'm gonna spoil by the way. When I first heard about it, every cell in my body told me that I should play it. With my, at the time, newfound appreciation for the Half-Life series beyond just Gary's mod, I desperately felt the urge to play this game. And 5 years later, I finally had the appropriate hardware and the virtual desktop app on MetaQuest, and bang, there I was, dodging headcrabs, running for my life, getting in gunfights, running for my life, discovering a strider. Did I mention running for my life? Yeah, this game is hard. Of course, it's not as hard as it can possibly be, likely to accommodate for many who haven't found their VR legs yet. After all, unlike myself, this may be many people's first VR game. And honestly, that's fine by me. In my opinion, the more people that get to experience this beautiful game, the better. But just because Half-Life Alyx accommodates for these people doesn't mean that it doesn't pose some very difficult challenges, whether they be through puzzle or, in particular, through combat. Now, I personally measure immersion when playing PC or console games into 3 dimensions: visuals, sounds, and mechanics. These are, of course, pretty self-explanatory. Visuals means things like frame rate or graphics quality, sound means things like sound effects and music, and mechanics is a measure of how the game actually plays. This is the philosophy that I apply when playing games that I actually want to be immersed in. Now, of course, VR games by default have a massive buff in the visuals department because, like, you know, you're in the game. But visuals alone don't make up a good game, and that's where Valve comes in with Half-Life Alyx and says, you know what, let's take these visuals and make them even better, one of the best even. Then let's add amazing sound design and a beautiful OST that calls back to some of the old Half-Life tracks while still putting its own spin on them. Then let me add some of the best and most intuitive VR mechanics that, at the time, were really unheard of. This makes Half-Life Alyx just about one of the most immersive VR games out there, which is an amazing achievement in and of itself. However, if that wasn't enough, Half-Life Alyx unlocks a previously unknown 4th dimension of immersion that I had previously only gotten glimpses of. See, while you're experiencing Half-Life Alyx, you're also experiencing something else, something which no other VR game that wasn't a dedicated exercise game, or battle talent, had ever given me before. And that was actual fatigue. In most video games, the most fatigue you'll ever get is eye strain, back pain maybe if you have bad posture, maybe even a hand cramp if it's a rhythm game or one that requires lots of key inputs. However, in Half-Life Alyx, it's a whole different story. You'll find yourself actually crouching under openings in the wall, running for actual cover, tactically changing positions as a result of a flank, throwing grenades and missing then throwing more, actively reloading your weapons in combat, looking for resin or ammo in every room. See, this game excels by not only figuratively putting you in the point of view of Alex Vance, but it also does this literally. You not only have to abide to your own laws of physics, but you now must also conform to the mechanics that Half-Life Alyx consists of. It's almost as if the player merges into the game itself. They become a part of the environment, affecting it everywhere they go. But that's a video for another time. What I'm here to focus on is the fact that all that puts actual strain on the real player themselves. Like in my experience, every time I came off of playing Alyx, my whole body was just sore, as if I had actually gone and done all those things. And for the most part, I did. I did crouch to get into a passage too small for me. As a smooth movement user, I did take several steps back and forth to correctly position myself in cover. I did reach out with my entire arm to try and save Eli Vance. I did whip my entire arm every time I wanted to discharge one of those Vortigaunt-looking electricity attacks. I did do all those things, and after hours, it took a real toll on me. Now, I'm not saying that this is guaranteed to happen to every player. However, based on my personal experience and playstyle, and the fact that I just love this game so much, this kind of fatigue was something I experienced plenty of, and my love for this game is a key point in all this. I didn't want to stop. Even with the back pain, the sore legs and arms, I wouldn't stop. This game will not only put you in the shoes of Alyx through fatigue, but also through emotional connection. Now, I don't want to sound all English teachery here or whatever, but if I may make a connection here, this is another one of the ways that this game puts you in the shoes of Alyx. It connects you with her story by putting you in a similar emotional state. Just as Alyx refuses to let anything stop her in her journey to find her father and later to reach the vault, putting aside any risk of bodily harm for what she thinks is the greater good, the player, in most cases I presume, pushes through any fatigue that they feel to continue the experience, to see what's in the next room, to see if Gordon Freeman is really in that vault in the sky, to get answers on just what in the world is even going on right now. Now, this is quite the stretch in terms of whether or not Valve actually planned this out, since not every player will enjoy the game as much as me or many others who are a part of the Half-Life community. But it's definitely exemplary of why Half-Life Alyx is just so good. It not only makes the player see what the character would see, but feel what the character would feel, even think what the character would think. You get to experience the pain that Alyx goes through on her journey, physical and mental. You are genuinely terrified when you see Eli fall to his supposed death. You feel genuine dread when you discover that you need to ride an elevator in close proximity to Jeff. You feel that same kind of dread when you hear a Combine Charger's footsteps approaching. Not because it's a video game and you don't want to die and do things all over again, but because these things threaten you directly. Alyx is in danger, and by extension, you are in danger. And that's how Half-Life Alyx breaks you. Trudging through the Zen-infested environments of the quarantine zone, tiptoeing your way through minefields, fighting a squad of Combine after just escaping a Strider, and making it to the vault and discovering the fate of Alyx. At the end of the game, you may be just as broken as she is. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you didn't know, this video is actually part of a series that I'm doing every Friday called One Shots. It's essentially me challenging myself to make a single video in one day while still saying something meaningful, where the only preparation that I have is a single idea. These videos will fill in the month-long gap between my biological videos or any of the larger video essays that I release at the end of each Friday of every month. I hope to go forward with this uploading schedule for as long as possible. With that being said, if you like this video, go ahead and like it. And if you think that this is content that is awesome, then subscribe, because I have a whole lot more in the works. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.